Georgia State! Sitting here again talking about the same things.
The following thoughts are about my weekend are encapsulated by this single soundboard.
I hate Michigan.
In case you need to hear it again,
I hate Michigan.
let that be known. Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the FBS Report. In other words, Red, tell them what that stands for.
FBS is what you would call it when you go to a Target. You pick out a nice set of clothing. You ask for a large shirt, and you're thinking you're getting large sweatpants with it. But instead of that, you get a large shirt, and the sweatpants are extra small. It's called fucking bullshit. Honey, what was the name of that store? Target. Fuck Target.
Yeah, you could have just ended that entire thing at when you go to Target, and then that would have made just as much sense.
When you go to Target, well, to be fair, Mo loves Target. She does, and they've never steered her wrong. Well,
that's crazy. That's absolutely diabolical there.
I don't know what it is, man. I go into Target with her, and I I'm me. I don't really care what it is. I'm happy that she loves it. I support her in everything she does because I am a supportive man. But I just still, I will say though, I got a pair of flip-flops that I wear around my house all the fucking time that I bought from a Target once. She got them for me.
Had to correct you there real fast. Of course.
Fair point,
Rationally so. Rationally so. Well, slow week here in the football space, as you would expect. We're getting into the spring season, which of course means it's almost that time for spring scrimmages to be unfolding. But unfortunately, in regards to all the spring stuff, as we all know, the times are changing, which means that none of these coaches want to do spring games anymore. Most of them are doing these glorified, weird scrimmage things, or they're just not doing it at all. Looking at you, USC. But there are plenty of others following in the footsteps of him because they just see it as some sort of entertainment for the fans. And, well, this shouldn't shock any of you, but your coach doesn't give a shit about you, if we're just being honest here. The coaches nor the administration, sorry to tell you, do not give a single rat's ass about the individual fan. Well, some of them, there are exceptions to the rule.
I was going to say, your small schools, your group of 5 schools, most of the athletic directors, they do give a shit about the fan because they still rely heavily, and I do mean heavily, on season ticket revenue, general ticket sales, merchandise sales to try to help keep the budget even. So, to be clear, what Squidtard is trying to say is most Power 4 athletic directors and coaching staffs do not give a flying fuck about the fans, except for very few special occasions where you could say, okay, they care, and they show they care.
Dan Hurley cares, and not in the way you're thinking, only because every time some fan says UConn sucks, his vagina starts hurting again.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're going to war tonight.
Yeah, congratulations to UConn, though. They're on to the Final Four. Katie Novaneko with the 2 says, ding dong, the witch is dead. There are plenty of teams you could say that about, but I'm sure we're talking about the ACC and Duke.
Oh,
and
yes.
What a game that was. I had that on the TV screen while I was working on my Tennessee video, and I was sitting there wrapping it up. And that was my central focus because Duke, they were beating the piss out of UConn. And I was like, oh, yeah, this game's over. All right. And then I was like, they're up by 19 points, and then I look back over a couple of minutes later, and now they've cut it within like 5. And I'm like, huh? And then, of course, we all saw at the very end there the blocked shot by Duke, which, of course, went directly into the hands of the Huskies and then thrown into the basket to give UConn the dub. I mean, baffling result there. Throws the ACC out of commission, but they were already under that status regardless. So, with all due respect, what are we missing out on?
Really nothing. Really nothing if you think about it at the end of the day. I mean, that was a beautiful shot that he made there. And honestly, awful awful offensive ball handling by Duke at the very end there. You had 10 seconds. You were just trying to, let UConn foul you. I don't know why you're doing all this extra bullshit over here, doing baseball passes, wicked runs. Like, let them foul you, go to the line, shoot the free throws. I'm not that big of a basketball guy, but I do remember being in situations like that in tournaments when I was in middle school, because I used to be you're gonna love this, Squid. When the last year I played basketball was in middle school, and I couldn't shoot for shit. But since I was an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman, and I played both ways, 60 minutes in middle school, I was just told, "You're center, stay in the paint." And you know what they called me? This is awful.
Oh,
White
no. Well, say that again.
White Shack.
Wow.
Well, keep in mind, this was Northern Kentucky. I didn't give the nickname. They bestowed. I was the tallest kid on the team, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. So they just gave me the title of White Shack. I don't know why they didn't just call me Fat Sean White, but that's beside the point.
Well, the commentators wouldn't do anything like that.
Nope. They would not. A bunch of middle school boys would, that's for sure.
No, that's right. Nathan Tucker with the 20. Very much appreciated, good sir. Says, it's been a day since the unbelievable ending in the Elite Eight, and I still couldn't believe what I saw. Duke had the game won, and they blew it. They had a 19-point lead, too. All they had to do was hold on to the ball. Well, it's a conference thing, man. There's another team from that conference in this tournament that did the exact same thing against the Commonwealth of all people.
And it was their fucking rivals, UNC. Like, what in the hell was that?
Think about it, man. They're a disaster of the conference. The second best team there only made it to the round of 32. Everybody else got blanked well before that. I mean, that's just pathetic. Now, the SEC, in fairness, did not do much better because
I expected a lot better.
Yeah, well, the SEC had more teams than anybody in this year's March Madness, and I think with the exception of two, got all of the others got blanked in the opening round.
Yep. So guess what this means, boys and girls? Just remember this when you are going up against someone that's bigger and badder in your life. Size does not always matter.
That can be used in a majority of quite a few
in other words, the size of the conference does not fucking mean dick compared to the size of the fight in the dog.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how does it feel now that you have to glaze Michigan?
There's a reason I'm wearing this shit. I ain't glazing shit. I am officially going to send a letter to the NCAA asking them to investigate the University of Michigan for cheating in this fucking tournament when Ohio State. I'm just kidding. I'm not that fucking delusional.
Yeah. Well, I imagine that you're rooting against them and not for the conference.
I mean, I also don't want Illinois to win either. I don't want them to go any further. That's the old, Illibuck rivalry. I got both Ohio State's two oldest rivals are in the Final Four in football sense. The Illibuck with Illinois and the game with Michigan. Problem is that we got bounced in the first round by fucking who? I don't even remember at this point.
Oh yeah, the horn shit posters.
Oh yeah,
you got your ass
blood
real
frogs.
Good.
They shot blood in my eyes.
Yeah, first ever loss of this year's tournament. Womp womp. Rand Gav, what the 5 says, shout out to FSU for finally winning a title in esports. Group Splatoon. Truly the pinnacle of sports achievements. Meanwhile, how does Michigan fumble the title this time? The answer is over yonder in the West. That would be the Wildcats, good sir, because they look just as good on offense, if not better. So it's going to be interesting, but I think, yeah, I would say the winner of that game between Michigan and Arizona wins the title, but UConn just finds a way to pull so many different things out of their ass in every single tournament. So
UConn is just a modern basketball school. I mean, I don't know what else really to say here. Like, it's not just like the men and the women have been at the top of the mountain multiple times over the last, decade and a half, 2 decades. If you want to go all the way back for the women, like that place is a national championship factory for college basketball for the men and for the women. I don't think Duke can't say that. North Carolina can't say that. Kansas can't say that. Kentucky can't say that. Ohio State and Tennessee can't fucking say that. It's
I've never been able to say that.
UConn is literally the basketball school for the men and the women in Division I. No arguments. Nobody can say otherwise. And if you want to say, well, Duke, and you can see, when was the last time Duke won a national championship? When was the last time North Carolina won a national championship? What about Kentucky? What about Kansas? It's been a while, isn't it?
Don't tell that to them. They'll tell you about how their trophy case from a dozen years ago makes them better than you today.
Oh yeah, I forgot you hate
this is the problem with a lot of these fan bases, and you see it a lot with like Florida, Kentucky fans. Well, now you're seeing it with Florida because they lost in the Sweet 16 instead of winning the national championship like they did last year. As expected, the first thing they're going to is, where's your national championship? I don't see your natty. Well, nobody cares about your natty anymore because there's going to be a new champion come next week. So nobody cares about your national title. And this definitely applies to Kentucky, whose national title goes all the way back to 2012, nearly a decade and a half ago. Or no, it was 2012. I was trying to remember the year.
It was in high school.
Yeah, long ass time ago. Last time Kentucky won a national championship.
The fan bases for both programs that are just clutching on to those national championships. It's almost like they're smoking fucking member berries. You remember? You remember 2012? You remember the Final Four? You remember?
Mm-hmm. Well, I laugh at Kentucky fans specifically because they're the main ones that do this and talk about their previous national titles. They've become the Nebraska of basketball.
Oh, Jesus.
They're a blue blood in the sport. But they suck today, so all they talk about is their titles from a long time ago that nobody can remember. It's the exact same thing Nebraska goes through in football. And Nebraska, they're a blue blood in the sport. They were really, really good for a long time. They are liquid ass cheeks today. So, of course, for both of those schools, let me ask you this, Red. Have you ever heard an Ohio State fan go around talking about, hey, do you remember our national title from 2003? Do you remember that? Like, has there ever been a time where an Ohio State fan has bragged about their national title from 2003 or whenever it was? Could have been. I think LSU won the title in 2003. You won in 2002. So point.
That man was me once, Squid.
Yeah, no, and this is something that happens to everybody. Any fan base that marginally brags about their national titles from a long time ago, it just automatically means that they're no good today. That's what it means.
I mean, let's be real here. NIL has absolutely leveled the playing field, and it's real year over year. You're seeing it a lot quicker in college basketball than you will in college football. The NIL transfer portal, it is allowing a lot more players to just be spread out. And so you don't have these power programs of the past stocking up fucking players like they're going to war. You know what I mean? Like they can only afford to hold on to 5 or 6 star players, and the rest are going to have to walk because they're not going to get any playing time.
Yeah,
and Georgia also the constant turnover as well, because your top players are going to go immediately to the NBA draft, and then you got to compete in the transfer portal all over again. That's just got to be exhausting.
Yep, Georgia fans too remembered what basketball looked like this week right after Tennessee lost, and again they went to a Final Four back in 2002. So according to them, that means they're a better program today. And I love to use this. Tennessee has more national titles, both claimed and unclaimed, than Georgia in football. So I guess that means Tennessee is a better football program today than Georgia.
Wait, that's real?
Yeah, no, Tennessee's got more. We have 6 both claimed and real national titles. And then Georgia has 4. So we've got more. Officially, it's
wow.
I think it's tied up at 3 apiece.
Wow.
But again,
that is shocking because you guys definitely don't look like you have that many national titles.
I mean, that's the whole point. That's literally what I'm getting at. We suck today. And so all of our bragging is at a time when we used to be good.
It's crazy to think that I'm somehow old
everybody
enough
else.
to remember barely when Tennessee won their last national title in 1998, and I was like 2.5.
Well, one thing's for sure, you weren't born when Tennessee made their first Final Four.
That's true. That's true.
The kid I have one day might be. Don't count on it though. Yeah, there you go. All right, Nathan Tucker.
I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. You just need to hush. Nathan Tucker with the 5 says, last time Illinois was in the Final Four, it was 2005. I was 5 years old at the time. Yeah, over 20 years. Congratulations to the Fighting Illini. They were having a really good year, a really good calendar year in athletics.
Yeah, no, football's on the rise. Fucking basketball's in the Final Four. If you're an Illini fan right now,
Nathan Tucker too.
You're about to get the ghost of Chief Wallinack out of the closet and put him on to celebrate.
There you go. Hey, Red, what about UCLA? The men won 11 titles, says Nathan Tucker.
Yeah, and the last one they had is about 1.5 inches of dust on it. So, I mean, it's been a while. Just saying. It's been a long while. Hang on. When was the last time UCLA won a national title? Hang on. When was the last time UCLA won a ball natty?
See how dusted this thing is.
1995, the year I was fucking born.
How about that?
They did it literally when I was about a month old.
Well, that means it's your fault. It's your fault. UCLA sucks now.
The fuck did I do to UCLA?
You were
well,
born.
You know what? They can blame me in about 3 months when I make the UCLA video. I mean, what?
Oh, fighting words. Fighting words. I like it. Well, anyway, all you need to know, Tennessee sucks. Yes, I know. We blew it in the tournament. Got absolutely pissed on by Michigan. Again, need to address this.
That's what they're good at, pissing on you.
Yeah, they pissed on me quite a lot. They didn't need to cheat to do it this time either. I was gonna say I don't think. I mean, if you think Dusty May is the next Kirk Cignetti, then that's on you. But
all right, I'll stop. I don't. I hit the wrong switch.
I believe it. All right. Well, some news for this week. We've got some stuff for this week actually. This is the big thing. The Mississippi State Supreme Court, and this is an update to the ever long going Trinidad Chambliss era at Ole Miss. The Mississippi State Supreme Court has denied the NCAA's appeal against Trinidad Chambliss preliminary injunction. And so Chambliss, at least at this point, remains eligible for the 26th season. All I need to know is that, more than likely, he's going to stick around. He's going to be eligible for this year. We just know that's probably going to be the case because, well, the judge cried about it. So I don't think the NCAA was going to have anything to fight back against.
We need to get like the fucking Law and Order sound effect in here for every time one of these goddamn cases go to court and just say, call it, college football court is in session. The Honorable Red Bailiff Squid presiding.
That's exactly right. I wish we had something like that when Joey Aguilar was. So because then it could be like, did you guys even think to consider that he had tonsillitis? Did you guys even think to consider that? Give him another year, man.
Did you guys ever think to consider that he's old as fuck? Case dismissed. Dun dun.
That's right. Your Honor, you see, I know Joey Aguilar has been healthy for 5 years now, but in that 1 year where he wasn't healthy, he had a hangnail, so give him another year.
How can you count? Sir, can you count?
What?
Can you count? What's the number before 5?
What are you getting at here?
The number before 5 is 4, and 4 is more than enough years to play college athletics. Get the fuck out of my courtroom. Bang, bang.
Come on,
I went
man.
Southern Revival there for a second. What the fuck is...
I'm not really sure what that was. I thought you were trying to...
I say, get your ass out of this courtroom right now.
All right. Well, anyway, Anyway, the super chat here from Arctic Phoenix. The Badgers were in the Frozen Four. Michigan State shit the bed. Good for them. Congratulations to Wisconsin. You have life in something.
Yeah, well, you got to hold on to something in Wisconsin, and
There
all
you
you
go.
got up there is ice.
Well, yeah, you got to hold on. There's nothing good. You're going to be holding on for dear life, and when football season rolls back around, I know that.
Yeah, you're hold on to the barrel as you're getting bent over by every other fucking team you play against.
Mm-hmm. Well, with most seasons in basketball, of course, coming to an end, there is one. Well, I mean, there's a couple that are still going on and are going to be going on for a while. But one, of course, all the other teams, they're going through their coaching firings going into this week. And one specific man has arisen back into the ranks of the SEC. He was gone for a while, but now he has returned to the school where Lane Kiffin now resides. One jackass to another. Jackasses unite. NC State coach Will Wade is back with LSU basketball. Couldn't get rid of him for long, I guess. You can cheat at LSU, but means you can't get rid of him forever, which means probably Jim Harbaugh could come back one day to Michigan. So, yeah, that's all there really is to say. Not a big surprise here, though. LSU wants that success back so bad, and I guess this is where they're trying to grab it from.
Well, if it ain't broken, then you beat the fucker with a wrench, and then you try to put it back together. It's probably not going to give you good results. If you got a leaky pipe, you don't blow it up with a sawed-off shotgun, cover it with duct tape, then rip the duct tape off and try to squeeze a brand new pipe over the old one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm getting at there. That saying went absolutely nowhere. They're stupid. End of subject. Move on.
Yeah, that's I think we've acknowledged that with that statement there. Yeah, no, I'm not really sure to think about this. I'm not really sure what to think, because if he comes out year one and LSU is basically the same team they were the year before and they still suck, all you're going to be hearing is about how Will Wade is just a cheating merchant and needs to cheat to win.
Well, so, you know what? There are less honorable things to do. You could be like Kiffin.
That's true. But look, like I said, jackasses unite. Think about the school that brought in Lane Kiffin and think about the one that brought in Will Wade. Oh, look at that. It's the same one. So,
speaking of, why the fuck is Lane Kiffin out here doing all these different fucking TikToks with random women on tennis courts? Isn't that a little creepy with him being over the age of fucking 50?
Really? Did you meet Lane Kiffin yesterday? You know exactly why he's doing that.
No, I don't actually. Oh, wait.
It goes without saying, I believe.
I can't say that because then that's libel, but I think I know what you're insinuating. And unfortunately,
we do some ha-has on here. We make some funnies all the time.
Hee hee ha ha. You just been sued.
Hee hee ha. All right.
I'm just kidding.
Well,
don't sue us.
Yeah, really.
We're too broke.
Speaking of Florida State and suing, well, Florida State former coach Gus Malzahn, otherwise known as the Gus Bus. Here's some good news out of this week. Of course, he officially retired from college football at the end of last year. Went out as expected, sort of, bringing back the Florida State offense to some capacity. Too bad their defense was liquid booty cheeks. So, but he retired at the end of last year. Now he has been appointed as a new member for the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. So if Alabama goes 9-3 and they are not in the race, I think you already know who to blame.
I thought we were past this fucker.
I'm afraid not.
What does he know about modern college football?
I don't know. That's between him and whoever else knows. I don't.
I think you and I would be a better selector of college football teams than Gus goddamn Malzahn.
Don't say that.
No, I'm saying that.
If it comes to one of those decisions, I'm not really sure how to think about that, because
it's real simple. You and I are outsiders. We are on the outside. He's an insider. He is blinded by the noise. We are not, sir. Our shit is unfiltered, uncensored, and real. His shit, he thinks smells like daisies in the morning because he's so goddamn delusional.
Okay, so what you're saying is if Alabama goes 9-3 and we leave them out and they ask why, we can just say Alabama freaking sucks. That's why.
Well, no shit.
All right, great. Yeah, no, phenomenal. But yeah, no, he's going to be a new member of the selection committee. So again, you already know they're going to be whipping up the excuses pending which teams get left out in that 13 or 14 spot. They're going to be whipping up all the excuses about how Gus Malzahn is a hidden agenda against BYU for some reason or something along that regard. I don't know. We'll see.
How would BYU you do here?
Yeah, nothing. But if they end up 14, you know they're going to be like, yeah, Gus Malzahn is his hidden agenda against BYU because they're BYU and all that.
Well, to be fair, they were pulling that fucking hidden agenda bullshit at the end of last season, weren't they? BYU, they were bitching and moaning about that.
Well, a lot of schools were, but yeah, no, they were. I mean, they were the. Granted, they were other than Notre Dame, the only other team, you know, that was in that running for a while and then got kicked out.
Yeah, and you know what? If they didn't get their asses handed to them on a silver platter by Texas Tech, I think they could have had a chance to get it. Just saying. Win your goddamn games. It's not that difficult to understand. Just win your goddamn games. And if you don't come crying to the committee saying they're playing foul because of the fucking rules. Like, dude, you agreed to play in the damn rules. So shut the fuck up and play. Quit your bitching.
Yep. Well, it's going to be a flip-flop no matter what it is. Either you got kicked out because your strength of schedule isn't good enough, or you got kicked out because you had too many losses. And they're going to keep flip-flopping as many times as they can. If it, you know, like for BYU, you know, they had a way weaker schedule than the likes of Alabama, according to the talent composite. You know how that works. And so BYU fans complained about how, you know, I guess strength of schedule matters more than record. Yes, it does. It does. That's the reason why Notre Dame didn't get in either. But you know what matters more than anything? Head-to-head. And that's why Miami also got in over Notre Dame. I cannot believe we're sitting here almost in April and we're still talking about the playoff selection. Wow.
This is how, well, you know what, man? This is why we made a show, because we could literally talk about college football all the way until the start of the next season. And we just don't give a shit, because I will happily bitch and moan about anything college football until finally it starts up, because that is my favorite sport. That is your favorite sport, clearly. And the people demand us to bitch and moan and gripe about college football. That's kind of why they subscribe. They become members. They go on my Patreon, patreon.com/red5478, by the way. They send the super chats and ultimately what they're here for. So, you know, it's a little weird talking about college basketball, knowing I'm more of a football guy than anything else. It's weird watching college basketball. It always has been for me.
Well, we'll be doing the same thing once baseball season rolls around. Once we get to the College World Series and all that, you know, we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about there.
But also Omaha.
Yeah, exactly. We get to watch Arkansas embarrass themselves again. That's always fun.
There we go.
Yeah, right. Hanafuda coming in with the 5 says, you know how much I hate Duke and how happy I am that they're out, but what makes it sweeter is all the money people lost betting on the Duke Natty. Well, this goes back to the old saying that I just made up called, if you gamble, you're a fucking idiot. That's yeah.
If you gamble, you're fucking
welcome.
Idiot. That's great.
You're welcome. No, legitimately. If you gamble on anything, you're a dumbass. Just straight up. There's no argument there. And most people would agree with me. Even the people I know that do gamble a lot agree with me. They call themselves dumbasses because they know if you put your money on anything, you're a moron.
You know what?
You're going to be wrong.
You know, one thing that's really been grinding my gears lately, though, this goddamn Kalashi bullshit you see on the internet, where you can literally bet on anything and everything and gamble literally your life away over the dumbest shit, from Little League Baseball to fucking politicians to if a world event's going to happen to if it's going to rain on Wednesday. Like, it's so out of control. And Paulie Market too. Like, both of those guys are absolutely just like. And here's the thing: I don't care about gambling in reality. I've done DraftKings before and some other bullshit. I think gambling is fine. And honestly, if you could do it responsibly, more power to you. I remember I won $200 on the NFL playoffs before doing some gambling. Plus, I'm not that bad of a blackjack player. I'll say that much.
Right. Now, I will say this, and here's something I will say in regards to that. If you do, regardless of what we say, choose to listen to or don't choose to listen to us in our regards to gambling, one thing I will say is that the one thing you should use if you're into sports picks is Prize Picks. That would be the one thing that I would use. Yeah. And because it does a lot. Pick stats for individual players, pick the winner, spread, total on any major game. And it's available anywhere in most states. So the best thing you can take is from our advice, gamble responsibly. That's the exact best thing and the best advice that we could give you.
And if you're over the age of 21. I think it's true. Isn't the age limit 21 in the country?
Yes,
I think
that is correct.
Yeah. 21 and older, call the gambling hotline if you got a problem. Do your very fucking best not to get a problem.
That's right. Prize Picks is good people.
What are we doing? Yeah, they're good people. They're good. That's fine.
Yeah. All right. It's me. Taco says, I can confirm what Red said is true. Balls. Well said.
Balls.
Super Nuclear says, retro quit the Dynasty game. I need a force win. Oh, you're talking about the Discord Dynasty? All right. Gotcha. Yeah, we run a over in my Discord server. We run a EA College Football Dynasty, and a lot of the subscribers are in it. And I guess they played one of their games today, and somebody rage quit. Shocker!
Oh, shit, I hate that. If you rage quit, you're just playing Madden at that point.
Yeah,
because
pretty much
Madden.
Pretty much. Granger Saves 33 says, if there's one thing we can agree on this week, it's tell them, Red.
Why do I need to tell them?
Because that's your thing. That's your thing.
You're right. Fuck Michigan.
I hate Michigan.
Well said. Well, yeah, no, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Man. I'm probably never going to get over that loss. Now, here's the thing. People have mentioned this in regards to Tennessee making the Elite Eight 3 times in a row. The only other team to do that was Florida back, I think, from 2011 to 2013. And then the very next year, they made the Final Four. So it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, well, still, that's a lot of pain and suffering for silver medal. Actually, it's not even a silver medal. It's more like a bronze. Actually, they don't even give you a bronze medal. Let's see. If you're one of the Elite Eight, what do you get? Like a cardboard cutout that says you tried, you done good. Yeah, you made it here.
You are try hard. Yeah,
you are try hard. Certificate of appreciation.
Right there, you go. Well,
paper of glory.
The main things you need to get from this show is the ACC sucks. Michigan also sucks, even though they're in the Final Four. And if you ever choose to gamble, make sure you use Prize Picks. Those are the main 3 things to get from today's show, if nothing else.
Yes, sir. So what else you want to talk about?
Tank Conference basketball playing like Tank Conference football. That is true.
Well, at least Miami made the national championship.
Yeah, well, think about it this way, though. He makes a really good point because there's always that one team who outshines everybody else in that conference, and then the rest of it just collapses in on itself, because that is what happened. Miami shined well above and ahead of everybody else, and then the rest of the conference just completely shit the bed. Same happened with basketball. Duke way outshines all the other guys in that conference, and then everybody else, the best team other than Duke in that conference was Louisville, and they lost in the round of 32 to Michigan State. So,
yeah, Louisville on the other hand has just been like when was the last time Louisville was really a real contender? Was it before or after they got busted for the stripper party?
I'd have to say somewhere in between.
Yeah. It was like right before what's his name left Louisville because they were under NCAA investigation because they took a bunch of recruits to a strip club or some shit like that. Which, by the way,
yeah, but that doesn't surprise me.
Fucking hell. That is like, of all the ways to get in trouble with the NCAA, that is certainly one of them.
Ways.
Like,
that is true.
They didn't pay off players. It was Rick Pitino. That's who it was. They didn't pay off players. They didn't do fake jobs. Nah, man, we're taking kids to the strip club. You had to go with like the most what the fuck option there is.
Yep. Irvin Alvarado with the 5 says, wait, if mayonnaise is truly an intimate, does that mean college bands will open spots for Mayo players? Hey, if a study confirms it, we can dream.
Hang on a second. Let's dive into this for a minute here, okay? How does one play mayonnaise as an instrument?
Good question.
Is it a drum? Is it like a horn? You just take your finger and you stick a hole in there and just go like, how, is it like strings where you just flick the top of it?
That either sounds like something you should look up a video on, and if there's no video about it, make a video about it.
I don't know if I want to look up man plays with mayo on Google.
That would be a story you could tell.
That would
be something you could tell, Mo. Hey,
the internet is something that you need to be cautious about wording.
So yeah, no. What would Mo say about that? What would Mo say if she went on the computer and then found in the search history man playing with mayo? I don't know.
She would have a lot of questions. Number one, she'd be like, "What did Squid tell you?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my answer would be, "Stop asking questions."
Yeah, we're officially off the rails. We're about 38 minutes into the show, and we are completely falling off the rails. And
I got something for you to talk about. This also came out recently. Jeremiah Smith, your buddy there, he spoke up about some potentially big transfer portal offers. Now, he doesn't have any interest in hitting the portal, but he did mention specifically in quotations that one certain program was coming at him very hard. And
Miami, isn't it?
He straight up said, I'm not going to say no names. I think everybody knows who it was.
It had to be Miami.
So I think,
isn't he from that area?
Yeah, that one could potentially so. More than likely, because that was the rumors circulating around, and he got that big offer right when the whole Daria Mensah thing was happening. So
yeah,
okay,
imagine
not jumping to conclusions, but
I would imagine he was getting offered Mensah money, probably like, if not damn near, probably like I'm going to take a guess and say like $7 million per season, so like a $14 million contract over his last 2 years.
But if it was anybody else, it could have been LSU or Texas. I'll tell you what, man. If there's any team to go ahead and pick for the Natty right now, it's Texas, unfortunately. And yes, I know we do the same song. I know we do the same song and dance every year, but they are absolutely loaded this year. Have you looked at their roster recently, Red, and who they brought in? Well, it's absolutely ridiculous because they're bringing back most of their defensive superstars. They've got some other ones coming in from the portal. They're bringing in Cam Coleman, a real receiver that could help out Arch Manning. They've got a really good running back room, really good receiver room. Right now, Texas looks like the most loaded team in college football. But, I mean, in most cases, the best team doesn't always win the championship.
See, Squid, you're doing something that you shouldn't do. You're giving Longhorn fans hope. Now they're going to start saying we're back all over again, and then they're going to get disappointed by September.
Yeah, they're back. Potentially so. I don't know. We'll see.
And then Ohio State walks into, Memorial Stadium and absolutely just goes full sawing the goddamn horns off because Texas A&M doesn't have the balls to do it themselves.
Mm-hmm. Ed Shadowbearer says, seeing SEC Glazers mauled makes me smile. Well, yeah, no. If you're glazing an entire conference, you've already set yourselves up as a dumbass.
Like,
So
why would I glaze the Big Ten? Oh, you're telling
Mhm.
do I think the Big Ten is superior as the overall conference? Maybe, maybe not. Don't really know. I don't cheer for the Big Ten. I cheer for Ohio State. I hate Michigan. I hate Penn State. I hate most of the teams in the Big Ten. The only teams I'm benevolent about are Purdue and Indiana. I can give a shit less about.
Mm-hmm. Ed Shadowbear with the 5 says, as a Penn State fan, I'm worried about the Campbell hire. He's basically Coach James Franklin without the elite recruiting. Yeah, I think about Matt Campbell the same way that I think of Kyle Whittingham at Michigan. He's basically damage control. He's going to keep you consistently on the good level, but for somebody who's going to get you to competing for a title, that ain't the guy. That it's basically damage control for what happened over this past season. Same with Michigan and Kyle Whittingham. That's the same way I feel about him as well. Is that, it's gonna I don't think he's winning any titles there. I don't even know if he's going to win many playoff games, if any at all. But what I do know is that they're not going to fall off the map. He's going to be. They're both going to be guys who I think keep them consistently good, but nowhere above and beyond. That's where I stand on that. There was something I wanted to talk about here, but I got to wait until Red gets back. Here he is. Welcome back.
All right.
Yeah. What I will say about Matt Campbell, I mean, he turned Iowa State into an at least, semi-respectable program, because before Matt Campbell, they were they're pretty stinky in the conference. And then he gets there, and over the course of however many years, now Iowa State is at least winning somewhere around 7 to 9 games in a season, sometimes even 10. And those are feats even for a program like Iowa State. Those are feats seemingly unheard of. For a program like the Cyclones.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically their version of what the Indiana turnaround was. Only they didn't go nearly as far as what Kurt Cignetti can do. That's kind of, I think, the distinction there between what is possible at Iowa State and what's possible at Indiana, and what's possible for Matt Campbell. Quite frankly, like, he had some really, really great players for a lot of years there, and for whatever reason, it just never fully clicked. I don't know if it was just because of a roster issue or if it was a coaching decisions. But I mean, if you're an Iowa State fan, obviously you're still like over the moon about what he gave you for the last damn near a decade.
Mm-hmm. Aloheim, I believe is how you say that. Boomer Sooner. I'm waiting for Porter Moser to somehow lose to Colorado this week. Would not shock me at all. Hold hope. Hey, don't. Have some hope for once. Oklahoma finally turned it around in football. There's no reason not to go ahead and say, you know what, maybe we can beat Colorado. Shooter James says Georgia will still win the SEC. Go Dogs, horns down. Member for 4 months. Much appreciated, good sir. Yeah, no, if Georgia and Texas are in the SEC championship, Georgia's winning that. Texas is, I don't know if it's just
a minute,
they're kryptonite, but Georgia.
But I thought that Texas is probably going to make the national championship. You're saying they're not even going to win the SEC if they play Georgia.
If they don't play Georgia. But I mean, we've seen it before. You don't have to win the conference or even be in the conference championship to win the playoffs.
Okay, but again, I dare say, if they're going to lose in the conference championship to Georgia, they're not good enough to win it all. You want to know how I know that? That's exactly what happened the year prior. They lost to Georgia in the SEC championship, and they didn't win the national championship. They lost to
I think you were just saying that as an excuse to go ahead and flex Ohio State again, but I get it.
Cannot confirm or deny that.
If they can't get over the hump against Georgia at any point in time, they're never going to get to that point where they can win a title. But again, I mean, at some point in time, maybe somewhere down the way, they'll find it out. They'll figure it out. Taco, been a member for 1 month, says, any thoughts on who can win the Pac-8 next season? It's going to be a tight race, I think. There's a lot of, I wouldn't say there's a lot of good teams, but there's a lot of competent teams who I think are going to just be beating the piss out of each other for that crown. And we could be looking at an 8-4 Boise State winning it.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be Boise State.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be that close, honestly.
That's the popular pick, and rationally so.
I mean, yeah, you know, what are you going to do? It's Boise State. They're one of the best teams to come out of the group of 5 right now, and I think they're a more complete program than most others in the Pac-8.
Right. Dumb Games with a 5 says Lance McCullers Jr. pitching a good game for the first time in 4 years before the Houston Cougars won a natty. Crazy.
Yeah.
But not really all that crazy because Houston just got to the power level. It's going to be a while before Houston gets to that level.
Yeah. Well, guess what, Houston? Just remember, Houston, you are the worst goddamn 10-win football team I've ever seen or I've ever heard of. I have heard of you.
Mm-hmm. Now, does that apply to basketball as well? Because I could have sworn Houston has won a natty in basketball before.
Well, are they in the Final Four this year?
No, they didn't even make it close.
Then they are the worst goddamn basketball team I've ever heard of. But I have heard of them.
Damn. Crazy. Almost like I used that in one of my videos or something. Now, tell me what you think about this. So there was a talking about Houston basketball. Yeah, thought so. Okay, I was just wondering. I kind of had a feeling you were speaking about basketball there, but I'm glad you confirmed that. Thank you for the 2. So Steve Sarkisian, since we're on the topic of Texas, I just found this. He had an interesting quote to say in regards to players or schools spending big in college football per se. And he says, quote, "You got to pay a lot of money just to get in the game. So the teams have a chance to win it. And I don't know what that number ends up being. Call it 25. I'm assuming 25 million, as in $25 million, or 25 teams. But everybody's in that game. And if you say you're not, then you're not being truthful." So he's basically just calling out everybody on that regard. He's basically saying everybody's doing what we're doing. Everybody's spending pretty much all of their money to get all these players to come join them. It's a bidding war, and we're just better than a lot of other teams at it.
Yeah, I mean, that is the harsh reality. Like, we can say a lot about NIL evening out the playing field and all that shit, but it's evening out the playing field for those that have the resources to compete in said playing field. And that's something that could change. But riddle me this, Batman. Do you foresee a salary cap coming in college football anytime soon?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say
that's
that it
really
is,
the only
that
way.
isn't.
You need a salary floor and then you need a salary cap, because if you want to have any sort of competitive balance between all the programs, and I guarantee you right now, the Power 4 will never agree to a salary cap, and the group of 5, the group of 6 will never agree to a salary floor, because one program wants to spend all the goddamn money they can get their hands on. The other one's trying to save all the goddamn money they can get their hands on.
I think there's going to be a few who will agree. For example, the programs that can't afford that in the Power 4, because there are some Power 4 programs who aren't at that level yet. Specifically, I'm talking about teams that just got up to this level, like Central Florida, Houston. They're 2 in particular. Houston cares a lot about basketball, so they don't have a problem there. But like in football, not to that level yet. Same goes for like Central Florida. And then some of the other teams are thinking about jumping up to the power level. South Florida is in that level, so in that range. So, yeah, I think a salary cap is needed. I just don't know if it'll ever be enforced in any capacity because, well, the NCAA, as we obviously know, has been terrible at enforcing basically anything.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a shit show. And this is where you got to remember, like, this is not professional sports. Like, people want to say it's professional sports now. It's not. It's really not. It's a private. How do I put this? This is like a private club. And let me explain why. A private club where you are only allowed X number of times to play until you reach a certain age limit, or in this case, year limit. And then you're no longer allowed to play in the club. Because if it was a professional league, you would be keeping players as long as you fucking can, and basically keeping them for 13, 14 years like you would see in the NFL. You can't do that in college. Genuinely, you can't do that. So I I refuse to believe the argument that it's a professional sport now, but I will say it's definitely no longer an amateur sport. So, club. It's a fucking
well
club.
said.
It's a club.
Yeah. Well, some of them arise above being a club. You know, you have in many cases contenders who you never would have imagined and don't really spend all that much money. I think one big example of this, and this is going to apply to Michigan starting this year, Utah. Before Whittingham's departure, that's what Utah was. They didn't spend a lot on their money. They didn't spend a lot on their NIL, but they had a coach and a coaching staff who knew his players, knew his system, and did it really, really well. And there are quite a few teams like that, and a few teams that have been able to do that consistently. BYU has been another one for a long time, and there are others just like it. I mean, Vanderbilt this year won 10 games despite spending way less than most other teams. Now that's no longer the case. Vanderbilt is now trying to spend up with the big boys in terms of money. How that'll pan out for them, we don't know. But what we do know is that there are, some odd ones who are able to arise above that. And while money is important, spending all the money to just get the best roster possible, so is coaching. So is all this other stuff. But it's going to have to be.
That's what I was going to say. Because I see you guys in the chat. What's stopping the Walton family from making Arkansas a natty? What's stopping Warren Buffett, the Nebraska grad, from buying Nebraska every natty in every sport? What's stopping Mr. Beast from trying to get ECU the money to win a natty? It's vision. You need to sell the donors on the vision. You need to have competent coaches, competent staff, a competent athletic director that could sell them on what you're trying to do. Because unfortunately, to get anybody to buy in, you got to sell some shit to them. And how do you sell it? Bullshit. You bullshit your way through it. And the best bullshitters are known as athletic directors for a reason.
And we can't confirm it does indeed walk. It walks a lot.
Money talks, bullshit walks.
That is 100% for certain. Cannot deny that in any capacity.
No sirree, Bob. But you know what's not bullshit?
What's that?
Almonds.
What?
Almonds.
No,
Almonds,
that's pretty bullshit.
That's not bullshit. Almonds are good. They're good.
What's wrong with this person?
What do you mean what's wrong with this person?
Almonds?
You chose to do this with me.
Come on.
Oh, wait, no. I see blasphemy on the screen. Where's the milkshake, pal?
I didn't get it today. I know.
Oh, my God.
That is blasphemy. You're right.
That is blasphemy.
Look,
you know the rules. We have to give you type 2 diabetes at some point.
Look, man, I'm partaking in the cursed D word, so I can't.
Oh, no. The D word?
I am. At least for now, up until the summer when I get what I lost back.
You have a contract to fulfill to this show, Squidtard, and in the fine fucking print, it says Squidtard must order one at least medium-sized Chick-fil-A milkshake of any flavor no sooner than 1 hour prior to start a show.
Yeah, but it didn't say no cherry, so I ripped the contract. I'll make a new one starting next week.
Fucking shit.
Yeah, you forgot that part. Womp womp, sad face. Yeah.
Eat more chicken.
Yeah, don't forget that. That is very true. Eat more chicken. That is
eat more chicken.
I will at some point. Well, as you guys know, since we're transitioning from we're in the middle of the off season. That's pretty much all there is for the news of this week. There's some other stuff that we can talk about, but I think it's going to be a short show for us tonight, more than likely, unless Red has any other topics he'd like to bring up. Ooh. Huh? Huh? What? Huh? Take your time.
Topic.
What is that? Your NIL package?
The penny ghosts say, "Fuck."
Well said. Who do you gents have in the College World Series? Ain't going to be Tennessee, I'll tell you that much. That's
Ain't
one
gonna be Ohio
thing.
either, that's for sure.
No, dude, it was a disastrous day for me yesterday. Literally, I saw it at the exact same time. Tennessee, while they were getting absolute belt to cheeks from Michigan, was in a dogfight with Vanderbilt, trying to at least put some respect in their name before the series ended with Vandy in baseball. And then we were up we were up 15-12. Their bases were loaded. It was the bottom of the ninth inning. And then they had a freaking walk-off grand slam to win the game right when Michigan was beating the shit out of us in the other sport. I mean, you can't draw that up any worse than that.
Yeah, well. Yeah, it sucks. I got nothing. That's some bullshit.
Taco says, we need the wife reveal. Come on, Red. Thank you for the 2, good sir.
Not my call. Not my call.
Whose
Not
call is
my
it,
call. It's Mo's call, whether or not she wants to be on camera at any point in time. And as of now, I haven't even asked her if that's something she wanted to do.
Yeah, you want to come on camera? No. Why would I want to do that? Stop asking questions.
Yeah, no, I could not do that with her right now. I definitely. Here's the thing. Mo is an amazing woman. I love her to pieces. She is awesome. Y'all heard her in my week 15 recap, talking smack. You hear me talking some shit. She can talk some fucking shit. Okay. They raise them right in Indiana. That's for damn sure. But don't piss her off. Do not piss that woman off. Because as lovely and amazing as a woman she is, she can be hell on earth if you get on her bad side.
Yeah, let me tell you what, women are scary. We know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Sharpshooter James with the 5. Want to know what's funny? Red's second favorite team is the F4 in men's basketball and Elite 8 in women's basketball.
Second favorite team? Who?
Is in the Final Four in men's basketball. Second in the Elite 8 in women's basketball.
I don't like UConn. I don't like fucking Arizona. I could care less about Arizona. We already hate Illinois. Who the fuck is he talking about?
I wonder. I truthfully wonder.
He better not be saying Michigan.
Brent Pry was somehow fired, hired, and demoted at the same time. Yeah, no, he's going to be around there for a long time, I guess.
Yeah, it's like
they made the right move though, because he is a really good defensive coordinator.
Oh yeah. He just isn't built to be a head coach, and
right.
that's
there are a lot
no
of coaches
fault
like
of it.
that.
That's no fault. Sometimes you're John Madden, sometimes you're Monty Kiffin. There is no shame in being either one.
Penn State fans are going to be in the worst mood ever when they see Virginia Tech come out and have a really good year. That's going to hurt them so bad,
and that's going to make me so happy.
I bet. All right. Well, good show for everybody. Yeah, no, I think we'll start for at least the next few weeks, bringing our shows down to like 1 hour unless like there's a guest on. Cause obviously there was no guest for this week. I'm going to try and set that up for next week. Maybe get that under control. It's been a very, very interesting time. I'll say that much. We've all been busy one way or another. Right.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, though, I think some of the best moments we have on the show is when we're just sitting here and just shooting the shit, and everyone's just listening. And I mean, we had a pretty decent crowd tonight coming in, and thank you guys so much for being here, just hearing us shoot the shit about football.
And I'll admit, part of the reason why we might be ending the show early is because I've got a stomach cramp like nobody could imagine, and I've got about maybe 3 more minutes within me before something happens. And it ain't gonna be pleasant. It'll look like Tennessee yesterday. You don't want to see it.
Oh no. Well, Squid, listen, buddy. You know what could have helped you with that, Code Brown? A goddamn milkshake to stop you up, dude. What the fuck were you thinking?
That would be the very last thing that would help me out, Red.
That is like the Pepto-Bismol
That is such a diabolical statement to say that a milkshake would help you with your bowel problems.
Yeah.
Holy
If you're
shit.
lactose intolerant, try it.
That is
It works wonders.
I mean, that's actually the craziest thing I've ever heard. Yeah,
No, it's not.
yeah, guys. You know, my girlfriend cheated on me. Oh, I know a guy who can help you out with that. Hey, Sharon Moore, come here. That's literally what you just did. Come
You did
on.
not. He just comes walking up, just crying like, I'm here. Can you pay me now? I brought the butter knife.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Okay. Yep. Shit's off the rails
Oh.
tonight, gentlemen and ladies, and
That
whoever
was
else was watching this absolute shit show in real time.
It is a sausage fest in the chat, and you know it.
Probably. Well,
Yeah.
for those for everybody that's in here, would highly recommend checking out the newest upload to the Squidtard channel, the ACC basketball get out video. You already know I had to make that. Red's got some stuff cooking in the tank right now, and once that stuff's out, it's going to be glorious.
It's in the smoker, and as we all know, best way to smoke your meat is low and slow, because I'm going low and I'm working slow because fuck, it's long. God damn. Oh my God. Why did I choose to do this?
I don't know, but somebody's wagon is going to get tipped by the end of it. I know that for a fact.
Someone's wheels are going to get sawed off, more like.
Yeah, I'm sure you know, but that was a reference to what's upcoming for your channel. It's gonna be something spectacular. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna start doing the voiceover hopefully next couple days, and hopefully we get it out sooner than we would. This will be the first one I make on the computer instead of the phone, I think.
All right.
As long as it works well. If it doesn't work well, I'll resort to the phone, but then it's gonna delay the whole fucking thing.
Sure.
So let's not do that.
Well, I'm looking forward to it all the same.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all again for tuning in to today's episode of the FBS Report. We'll be back next week to talk about whatever we're going to talk about because we don't know yet. But we will have something ready for you in the tank as always. Love you guys for coming on here each and every week. Stay tuned for more great stuff coming from the both of us in the future. And yeah, there ain't much else to say. So until next time, see y'all later. And power to Tardaria.
Napoleon was once attacked by a horde of rabbits during a rabbit hunt in 1807. The rabbits charged at him and his party, leading to a chaotic and amusing situation.
Dude, I've got a shit so bad. And wrap it up already.
Good night, everybody.
Take care. Power to Tart.